There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and I'm live. We are finally at Elimination Chamber Week. This is the Go Home Raw to Elimination Chamber. WWE is never seems to amaze me. Some of the stuff that happened tonight was just crazy. Out of this world. I am gonna go on. I'm running a little late, guys. I do apologize about that. Trying to get stuff set up. Just give me a few seconds. Trying to get posted. I'm live here. Like I said, I'm running a little bit behind. Raw kind of went over tonight, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. We got a lot of snow. We got almost 12 inches, so probably about 10, something like that, but still a pretty good bit. Hopefully you guys didn't have to deal with all that. It's a mess up there. It's just cold now. Sorry, I started late, so people are gonna be coming on late. Yeah, this product, I don't know. We saw another injury tonight. Obviously, nobody wants to see that. Sometimes these big reporters do get stuff wrong, guys. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I was told completely different story from what WrestleVotes reported. Obviously, I didn't see an X thrown up. I did see like the referee talking to him, but like I said, sometimes WWE will feed these big, huge. I said this every single week on Scoop. I'm not a big source, so like they're not coming to me feed me information. WrestleVotes is super legit. I've hardly seen them get stuff wrong, but everybody gets stuff wrong, so it's not uncommon that they were fed some wrong information. I don't think it. He's definitely out, torn bicep, but doesn't mean he was guaranteed to win. Also saw that we're gonna have a Gunther Undertaker confrontation tonight. I didn't see that either. I got shit wrong, so everybody gets shit wrong. It's just the way it is, But I don't believe that. To be honest with you, even though I know Joey, I don't know him personally, but Joey votes, so they do phenomenal work. But it doesn't mean that they wasn't wrong. So that's all I'll say about that. I said like last week Jay was winning, so it only makes sense. Like, I guess if they were gonna do like the masked person or whatever, like then I guess I could see it. Elimination Chamber, but you want the top ticket sellers to be on Raw, so not on Raw, but on Elimination Chamber, and Jay's gonna be running it back. I don't like that they have like a shit ton of baby faces in the match, but You know, I mean, it could have been the call. It could have been, you know. I just, like I said, I don't have anything about it to say about Russell Vogt, but I do think that. I mean, I was told last week it was Jay, but obviously, like I said, there was an injury that occurred. So, you know, I never saw the X. I just saw him like laid down there with the referee. Obviously, he is injured. Like that's definitely not fake. And you know, definitely wish him well. This is just crazy. All these injuries, and it happened right before Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. You think WWE is panicking now? I mean, whatever storyline they had Bronson Reed in the division, I mean, the only people left is Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So, I mean, if Braun Breaker's not back, like I said on Scoop last night, maybe they do Logan and Austin Theory against Bad Bunny and Seth Rollins, or hell, they may even do Logan and Austin Theory against the Usos. I don't know that. I mean, they're gonna have to. This is wild. To have all this going down right before Elimination Chamber and on the road to WrestleMania, so it's gonna be interesting. A lot was very predictable, and then there was a lot that wasn't predictable. I tweeted a couple weeks ago, or when Liv was being very hesitant about her decision, I was a little concerned about Io qualifying, and then also we saw Kiana James qualify. The women's and the men's chamber are both set. Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton. So Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka. Oops, I know I'm leaving something out. So it's Rhea, Tiffany, Asuka, Kiana James, Raquel, and Alexa Bliss. In the women's. In the men's, it's Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Jay Uso. So that's going to be our chamber. Our 6 participants in the women's and the men's chamber. It's going to be hard to tell what they're going to do with the women's chamber. I think a lot's going to depend on what happens Friday with Rhea and Io. If they drop the titles, for me, Rhea and Jade's a lot bigger match than Raquel and Jade. Nobody wants to see Tiffany Stratton and Jade again. Should have been done over and over and over. But Rhea and Jade don't. If Rhea and Jade retain Friday, then I could easily see Raquel winning. 2 Judgment Day members, one for 2 separate women's titles at WrestleMania. That'd be wild. Because they have been pushing Raquel very hard too. So, but let's get to well, before we start the Raw recap. Obviously, I retweeted Miami's tweet today. After the Slam podcast is doing a raffle. It's been going on for a couple of weeks now. You know, I play it before all of my streams on Raymond. I don't know if you can see my live on X or not. If you can, please retweet. But yeah, so I'm gonna take my banner off so when I get ready to play this video. So it's pretty simple, guys. Just make sure you scan the QR code, pay the $15 to After the Slam podcast PayPal. That's $15 per entry. You can enter as many times as you want. And the only catch is you have to subscribe to the EVP show, After the Slam podcast, and Talk It Up Wrestling podcast. This raffle is going to go all the way till Saturday, and a winner will be drawn on March the 1st. So make sure you guys get in there. Yeah, I don't know why you can't see it. It's so weird. I just updated Twitter on my StreamYard. That's why I was late. I don't know what's going on with that, but I appreciate the tweet. Definitely, it's awesome progression in the storyline. I don't know what the hell they were doing with Brock Lesnar. I don't know what that segment was. WWE is just, I don't know, they're mind blowing at this point in time on on what they're doing. I think the only thing good about the show is the end. The rest of it was just not great. Just not great. Everybody knows Liv was picking Stephanie out of those 70 people in IWC. It's like, oh, she's picking Jade. There's no chance in hell that she was picking Jade. She took a long time to deliver on that, but anyway, let's go to the video about this raffle. Yeah, I'll get to that, Raymond. There's still plenty of time left. Hopefully, Triple H was listening to the fans, what the fans want, and what we don't want is over Pimmy and Rusev. That is a fucking main event match or a dark match. Nobody wants to see that shit at WrestleMania. So everybody wants to see Brock go, but make it happen. I don't know if Brock just doesn't want to lay down or like what, but this Mania is turning out to be, oh my god. Anyway, before we start on the recap, here's the video from after the Slam on the Classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt that will end on February 28th.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
Alright guys, that's it. Like I said, pretty self-explanatory. Scan that QR code, pay the $15. Make sure you give a subscription to After the Slam podcast, Talking Up Wrestling podcast, and the EVP show, and you will be entered. You can enter multiple times. The more times you enter, the more better chance you have to win. The raffle ends on February the 28th, and will be drawn on March the 1st. $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter? Like I said before, make sure to subscribe to After the Slam podcast, Talking About Wrestling podcast, and the EVP show. Send $15 via PayPal for one raffle entry. Each $15 is one entry. More entries equals better chances to win. The winner will be announced live on March the 1st on After the Slam podcast. So you guys get your entries in because this raffle ends on Saturday, 5 days away. Elimination Chamber. Here is the QR code. So if you guys go back and watch this or whatever, you can see the QR code. Obviously, it's on Miami. I posted it today. I retweeted it. Yeah, so it ends Saturday. So you guys get in the raffle before it's too late. I'm going to put my banner back up here. And this is the start. Well, yesterday was actually the start of it could possibly, I don't know if I'm doing the NXT PLE predictions. I'm going to put like a flyer out and see who's interested in it. If I don't have that much interest in it, then I will probably just recap the the NXT PLE next week. But there's still a lot of days in a row. It started yesterday. I guess if I do an NXT prediction, then it would be another 7-day week next week. But if I don't, then Wednesday would be the only day next week that I would be streaming. Because I will be covering the NXT PLE, the recap, at least. Like I said, I'll put something out closer, like after, like, there's already 2 matches announced for the PLE, but probably like midweek, maybe like Wednesday, or I don't know. I may put it out tomorrow and see if there's any interest in anybody coming on for the NXT PLE. If not, then I'll just do the recap for it. It's no big deal. Either way, it could be another 7-day week if I get any interest. Like, if at least a couple people want to come on, then we'll probably do it. Just to predict it. Obviously, there are 2 matches already announced. Joe Henry defending the NXT Championship against Ricky Saints, and then I believe it's Izzy Dame defending the Women's North American Championship against Tatum Paxley. So those are 2 matches already announced for the NXT PLE on the 7th of March. So be on the lookout on X. If you never came on the show, if you want to come on for predictions, just let me know. And I'll get that set up with Miami. And I definitely am doing a recap for that PLE for sure, though. All right, so let's get started. A little discombobulated here about starting late. So tonight was the Go Home Raw for Elimination Chamber. I shook my head quite a bit during this Raw tonight. Like I said, the best part of the Raw tonight was the end. There was a lot of shake your head moments. The Maxine Dupree stuff was just, what's going on here? Please keep Maxine and Natty out of the AJ Lee Becky Lynch storyline. Please do not put them 2 in a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. We do not want to see that. It's just bad. It's just so bad. Let's get started. So tonight, WWE Raw. It promises an action-packed night live from the State Farm Arena, which I've been there before in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the WWE Elimination Chamber Go Home show. And we're going to see the last men's Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Division Bronson Reed, Uso, WWE, one half of the WWE World Tag Team Champions main event. The Uso and the original El Grande Americano face each other in a men's Elimination Chamber triple threat qualifying match. Plus, there's going to be a tribute at the end to the phenomenal AJ Styles, and then obviously we have our last women's triple threat qualifier with Raquel Rodriguez, Kairi Sane, and Io Sky, and then obviously Liv Morgan's semi-announcement. She didn't really officially announce it, but her actions told enough that it's official. She's challenged Stephanie by court. So yeah. Also on the card tonight, like I said, we're gonna see a singles match between Maxine Dupree and Natty. Promo from the WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. That Morgan makes a WrestleMania decision, and the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar makes his return, which I don't know what the hell that was. And the tribute to AJ Styles. So the show opens up with Michael Cole and Corey Graves in the ring. Michael Cole and Corey Graves are in the ring. Cole mentions that tonight we pay tribute to the phenomenal AJ Styles. And before they can get done talking, they are interrupted by the career killer himself, the ring general Gunther. He interrupts Corey's introduction and he makes his way down to the ring. Gunther says, "You were trying your best, but it was not good enough." Gunther then tells them to get behind the announce desk and talk about how great he is. Gunther then says, "You are not happy to see him because you idiots came here to celebrate the career of AJ Styles." Gunther then says it is disgraceful to have a celebration for a loser. Gunther then says, you feel for the losers like Bill Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles, three people that Gunther retired. Gunther then says what they all have in common is that he killed their careers. Career killer. Gunther then says what should really happen tonight should be a celebration for a truly great wrestler. Adam Pearce comes storming out of the locker room, mad as hell, makes his way out. He tells Gunther that is enough. Pearce then says he knew that Gunther was going to come out. Pearce says, "We are going to celebrate the career of AJ Styles." Pearce then tells Gunther his boy that he comes out with security. His boys are escorting Gunther out of the building. Gunther then says he's going to leave, not because he is being told to leave, but because he is disgraced by what is going to happen tonight. Gunther then leaves the ring, warns the security, "Don't touch me," and walks off laughing. Gunther poses one last time before he is attacked from behind by Dragon Lee, which, like I said a couple weeks ago, I feel like it's setting up. We're getting Gunther and Dragon Lee next week. We're gonna get Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta next week, and then the return of the OTC1 Roman Reigns to Raw next week. So I'm glad they went ahead and announced some matches. That's really good. Security pulls Dragon Lee off Gunther, and Gunther is pissed. And he has a stare down with Cody Rhodes. Cody is making his way down to the ring. Raw General Manager pushes Gunther to the gorilla position, and Gunther is irate. Dragon Lee then attacks Gunther again, and they brawl to the backstage area. Security pulls Lee off, but Gunther is furious. Pearce then asks if Gunther is happy and says it is not his night tonight. So then, before Cody Rhodes makes his way down to Gorilla and out to the ring, he has a stare down with Gunther. And we get the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes with that gold watch on. They're in Atlanta where Bad Blood is, which is a little weird. He shows up and he looks at Gunther with disgust before heading to the Gorilla. So we get the hometown American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Whoops, I don't know what happened. I hit the wrong button, sorry. Cody from Atlanta, so. For the IWC is gonna be irate after Saturday when Cody wins that chamber, boy. Woo! Just 1 second, guys. Gotta answer this DM. Sorry. I hate to do this on live, but 1 second. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. My phone's like doing some weird shit. I have no idea what's going on with it. Sorry, guys. Texting some stuff from last week or next week. All right, sorry guys, back to the action. Talking to Miami, I guess he's not getting my text messages or something. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, so Cody's making his way down to the ring. Obviously, big pop because he's in his hometown of Atlanta. All right, I don't know if it's like my Wi-Fi or what, but anyway, so Cody making his way down to the ring. Sorry about that, guys. Crowd's going crazy, obviously. Trying to get back to my notes. So Cody makes his way down to the ring to a big reception from the Atlanta crowd. Cody goes and grabs the mic and starts off by saying he knows what you want to talk about, and that is the phenomenal AJ Styles. Cody then says AJ is wrestling royalty. Bronson Reed's music. Cody didn't even get to talk very much, and we get the Bronson Reed's music hits. He is joined on the stage by Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory. Heyman then tries to speak, but the crowd boos him. Theory then says he cannot stand this place. Theory then says they disrespect the wise man and the vision. Theory then says he is ashamed to be from Atlanta. Make sure you get to the comments in case anybody comes in. Shout out to Raymond. Appreciate the tweet. Yeah, I'm super confused on what they're doing with Brock. Paul then says, take the microphone and says, Rose isn't ashamed to be from Atlanta. Paul then says, just like everyone from Atlanta, Rose has zero common sense. Paul then says, Rose is insane for showing up on Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. Paul then says, when Bronson Reed wins tonight, the Elimination Chamber at WrestleMania, the Vision will take over SmackDown. He then said Rose will be the first one out of the door. Paul then sarcastically says, God bless all of you to the crowd because they'll watch Reed win his qualifying match starting right now. Rosen says he doesn't know about that. Rosen said he's pretty sure there's someone here who would disagree with that. And out comes one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions main event, Jey Uso, accompanied by his brother. So then we get the original El Grande Americano, otherwise known as Chad Gable, makes his way down to the ring, and we're going to get our first match of the night, which is the Men's Elimination Chamber Triple Threat qualifying match between the Vision, Bronson Reed versus one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions. Main event, Jey Uso versus the original El Grande Americano. So the match starts off with Jey punching Reed, and so does Americano. They alternate punches on Reed, and Jey hits an uppercut. Reed then runs to a double clothesline and gets one of his own. Bronson Reed then Irish whips Jey into Americano, and Jey moves when Reed goes for a splash. Bronson then blocks a kick, and Jey hits a dragon whip. Jey sets up for a suicide dive, but Bronson hits a forearm. Americano then goes up top and hits a moonsault onto Reed and Jey. Americano then escapes and sends Reed into the ring post. Jey then joins Americano and sending Bronson Reed into the post again. Americano then hits some punches to Reed on the floor. He returns to the ring. They then fist bump and Jey and Americano lock up. Americano then hits a drop toe hold and transitions into an arm bar. Americano then hits a snapmare and a knee drop to the arm and a kick. Bronson Reed then gets back on his feet on the apron, and Americano drops kicks Reed off the apron. Jey then gets an inside cradle for almost a quick near fall. Americano then chops Jey and hits a divorce court that applies a bridging hammerlock. Americano then falls back to the mat to add more damage to the arm. Jey then hits some punches to Americano. Americano fires back, kicks Jay's arm that's tied up in the rope. He kicks Reed off the apron. And we get the Americano dance. So later on in the match, Jay hits an uppercut and puts Americano on the turnbuckles. Bronson then gets a headbutt to Jay, and he gets both men on his shoulders for a massive double Samoan drop. Bronson then hits a punch to Jay, and he hits a back elbow. Reed then hits an elbow drop for a near fall. Reed then hits a punch to Jay, and he chokes him in the ropes. Reed then kicks Americano off the apron and into the ringside barrier. Reed then works on Jay's neck. Jay then hits some punches, but Reed catches Jay on a crossbody and he hits a standing power slam. Americano then hits a headbutt to Reed and a bulldog to Reed that ends with a leg drop on Jay for a near fall. Bronson then blocks a German suplex and Jay punches Americano. Americano then hits the Chaos Theory to Jay. He lands a little short, which he was way short. That was a super botch by Americano. Way short. He was like 5 feet away from Jay. He still almost got in there and fall. Americano hits a German suplex to Reed. But that was a lot. That was an impressive move by Gable Americano hitting that German suplex on Bronson. So everyone is down the ring. Reed then goes to the floor. And then the referee checks on Americano. Jay struggles to get back to his feet while Americano has the same problem. Jay and Americano then stand across from each other in opposite corners. And the referee then says something to Jay and Americano. They then lock up, and Americano sends Jay to the mat and slams the arm into the mat. So it looks like at that one point in the match, when Jay was going for a pinfall, Bronson Reed dove across to knock Jay off. And he did something to his, I guess it's his tricep or bicep, one of the two. And it's reported and believed to be a torn bicep or tricep for Bronson Reed, which is a 3 to 6 month recovery time. And he's definitely missing WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber, it's a 3 to 6 month recovery for that. So Bronson Reed just can't. He's very unlucky with these injuries. The whole division's out. Seth Rollins is out. Braun Breaker's out. Now Bronson Reed is out with injury. So Bronson's on the floor with the referee. He's out of the match. Jay goes up top. Jay hits a frog splash, but Americano gets his knees up and gets a near fall with an inside cradle. Americano then switches in the angle lock. Famous Chad Gable. When Chad Gable does that move, and it is Chad Gable. Jay crawls to the rope but realizes it's a triple threat. No disqualification, so it's not going to help him. Jay then kicks Americano, but Americano holds on. Jay then rolls through to send Americano into the corner. Jay hits the infamous super kick, and Americano hits a rolling kick. Then Jay hits a spear, and he goes up top and hits the frog splash for a 1, 2, 3. So, according to WrestleVotes and Body Slam, Bronson Reed was supposed to win the match, but we have Jey Uso, who has qualified and gets the last spot in the Elimination Chamber, where he would join Randy Orton, LA Knight. It'd be Jey Uso, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams in the Men's Elimination Chamber Saturday. So we then take a look back at AJ Styles making his WWE debut at the 2016 Royal Rumble PLE. That's where he had his last match for 2026 Royal Rumble. So we then see Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Roode in the back. Tyler Reddick's car then makes his way into the parking garage. WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk makes his way out of the passenger seat. This guy, Tyler Reddick, was the winner of the Daytona 500, in case you guys don't watch NASCAR. So then we get the last week's segment was a little confusing on why she cried, but we get Liv Morgan, the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner, makes her way down to the ring with Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and she still appears to be shaken with what she was told last week. She did say in a couple of interviews that she got some dust in her eyes. So we see subtitles to tell everyone who doesn't speak Spanish what Stephanie said. Dominic starts off by saying, "You are in the presence of the greatest Intercontinental Champion, AAA Mega Champion, and the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time." Dominic then says, "It is the moment you have all been waiting for." Dominic then says, "Liv is going to make her decision for her opponent at WrestleMania." Dominic then asks the champions to come out so she can make her decision face to face. And the first person out is La Primera herself, the WWE Raw Women's Champion, Stephanie Vacour, followed by the SmackDown Women's Champion, Jade Cargill. Then Morgan takes the mic and she says she knows you have been patiently waiting for her to decide who her WrestleMania opponent is. Liv then says she is ready and she has something to get off her chest first. Liv then tells Stephanie her words last week caught her by surprise. Liv then says she has never been that vulnerable before. Liv then says Stephanie was right. Liv then says she didn't know about Stephanie's story to get to WWE. Liv then says now that she knows her story, she is sorry for judging her. Liv then tells Stephanie you're a champion because of what you went through. Liv then turns her attention to the SmackDown champion, Jade Cargill, and then turns around and completely decks Stephanie Vacour with the mic, and Stephanie did a phenomenal job of selling that mic shot. She punches Stephanie with the mic. Jade Cargill gets the big grin on her face and backs away while Liv begins to pummel Stephanie Vacour. Liv then hits a code breaker, and she takes Stephanie's title belt and hits her with an Oblivion. And then Liv Morgan is seen holding up Stephanie Vacour's Women's Raw Championship belt. So it's official. Liv Morgan, we have our second match that's official. Liv Morgan one-on-one with Stephanie Vacour at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. So we then see Byron Saxton in the back with Javon Evans. Byron asked Evans about his victory last week. Before Evans can say anything, Offset. You guys know who Offset is. Offset shows up and he says he is here for AJ, and his song will be the theme for Elimination Chamber. The New Day then shows up, and Woods complains about how Atlanta is treating him. Kofi then asks Offset why he never showed up when they invited him. Evans then makes a challenge, and Woods says he is injured. Kofi then tells Evans to lace up his boots because Evans cannot lace up his. Offset is not a fan of the New Day. So we then get comments from several wrestlers about AJ Styles. Obviously, we saw a bunch of people that AJ worked with in the past. The Good Brothers. There's a lot of people there for this tonight. This was great for AJ. We then take a look at AJ Styles beating Jinder Mahal to become the WWE champion. We then see the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows show up to surprise Michin, Tama Tonga, and Tagaloa. Like I said, this is a full house for AJ's send away. So we go to the next match of the night, if you want to call it that. This is just absolutely awful. Please, God, do not put Maxine and Natty into anything with AJ and Becky at WrestleMania. Maxine makes her way down to the match for her, second match already against Natty. So the match starts off with Natty sending Dupree into the corner and punching her. Dupree then hits a drop kick and a spinning heel kick. Dupree then hits a kick, and Natty goes to the floor. Dupree then follows, and Natty sends Dupree over the ringside barrier, but Dupree hits a kick and a crossbody off the ringside barrier. Dupree then sends Natty into the ringside barrier again. Natty then kicks Maxine into the ring post, and Dupree is down, and she looks like she is unconscious at this point. Natty then stands over Maxine, and the referee stops it and gets her away. Natty then continues to deliver some punches to the back of the head, and she punches Dupree some more as the referee intervenes. So Natty took out the winner of this match due to a referee stoppage, which is one of the first times I've seen this in a long while on WWE television. Is Natty. But they need to be done with this. This is bad. They need to get Natty on to something else. This was just bad. So we got to the back in the Judgment Day clubhouse where Liv wishes Raquel luck, and Raquel says she doesn't need luck to win. And then we get JD McCrispy, JD McChicken Nugget, JD McDonough apologized to Finn for last week. He says he wants what is best for Finn. Finn then says, "Brothers fight, and there's water under the bridge." Finn then says he has to do it alone, so he doesn't want no help at Elimination Chamber. Dominic Mysterio then stands up and tells Finn and JD that they left him hanging, and that is why he lost last week. He then tells them that they need his help next week against Penta, where he will defend the Intercontinental Championship next week against Penta. JD then says he will be there. Finn then says he is preparing for the biggest match of his career. He then points out that when they were injured, he had to do it alone. He then says Dominic needs to grow the hell up and do it on his own. So there's the dissension, guys, with Dominic and Finn. Like I said, I feel like Finn's losing at Chamber, probably due to Dominic trying to interfere. Dominic probably going to retain next week against Penta, and that will set up Finn and Dominic at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. So then we see Trick Williams make his way out to the interview area. Kathy Kelly asks him about Jay qualifying for the Chamber and asks about his strategy. Trick says he finally has arrived. Trick then says he wasn't supposed to be here tonight, but someone told him that Atlanta has the best chicken wings in the world. Trick then says if they have the best chicken wings, maybe it is right that he came with his shoe, the lemon pepper stepper. That is a form of a chicken wing, lemon pepper. Trick then says he is going to get the job done. Trick then says no one will be eating, no RKOs, no American Nightmares, no one saying yeah, and we won't be bouncy as it is about him. So then I'm thinking, all right, here, this is the night. We get another video package on Wwe, which we've seen him going back and forth between Raw and SmackDown for the past couple of weeks. We saw him in 2 matches against Kit Wilson. He was in a dark match, I think, last Monday on Raw. I don't know what they're doing with those, but I don't. But yeah, to the back where Adam Pearce wants to know why the crate is here. And he is told that Nick Aldis wanted to send it here. He then tells the assistant to send it to Chicago so that him and Nick Aldis can open it together at the Elimination Chamber Saturday. Then Rusev is standing there close to the crate and walks up and asks to speak to Pearce. But Pearce says he has a meeting. Wwe walks up and shows up, and Rusev says Oba talked too much for a new guy. Pearce then tells him to put things off for AJ. Pearce then leaves with Rusev. So it looks like things are far from over between Oba, Femi, and Rusev. I hope to God that is not the WrestleMania match. So one of the moments that we've been waiting for that they advertised last week, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, makes his way down to the ring with his advocate, Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar makes his way out, does his infamous bounce, making sure he doesn't fall on his ass like he did that one time. And he has Paul Heyman with him. Paul then introduces himself and Brock. Paul then says WrestleMania traditionally has 2 main events, the title match and the streak of The Undertaker. Paul then reminds us that Brock ended Undertaker's streak, so that main event spot went to Brock. Paul then says the only dead man walking is the one who comes down the aisle. face Brock Lesnar. Paul then says, who will fight Brock at WrestleMania? Paul then says he does not have a prediction or a spoiler because there was not one person, man enough that he could identify to take the ass kicking of biblical proportions at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Paul then says these are Brock's appearances on the road to WrestleMania, which it looks like his next appearance is going to be March the 16th. Looks like he's booked all the way through March. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Brock on Raw on the road to WrestleMania. Paul then says these are Brock's appearances. He says Brock will be on the 5 Raws starting on March the 16th. So every Raw from March 16th all the way to WrestleMania. 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th, and I guess the 7th. 16th, 23rd, 30th, 7th, and 14th. Yeah, every Raw up until WrestleMania. Paul then says if anyone wants to experience a victimization, all that man has to do is to get in the face of Brock Lesnar. Paul then says he doesn't think that is going to happen. Paul then says no one will answer Brock's open challenge. Paul then says you can have all the title matches you want. The real main event is whomever is going to get their ass kicked and conquered by the beast incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. Paul then says there is no one in that locker room with the balls to take that ass kicking at WrestleMania from Brock. And then Paul Heyman drops the mic. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if Brock's going to get involved at the Chamber and end up costing LA Knight to set up that feud. Obviously, he's going to be on every Raw starting from March 16th all the way to WrestleMania. I'm hoping the hell not. I'm hoping that somehow we get Oba back involved in this. But it's not looking too good for the Brock Oba thing, which just really upsets me. And then we immediately go to a promo. What did Brock even come out there for? Nobody even walked out. I cannot figure that out. We go back to the back where Becky Lynch cut the promo and asked what AJ has ever done. Becky then said, you have one butterfly belt, but she changed the game. Becky then says she has taken this business to heights it would never reach with you. Becky then says you do not deserve to hold this, but she deserves to get rid of you and retire you in front of your friends and family in your hometown of Chicago. Becky then says you will be the least talented AJ to retire this year. That was a deep shot there. Becky then says she proves it on Saturday at Elimination Chamber. So then we get an impromptu match that was made earlier in the night. The young OG himself, Javon Evans, makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, accompanied by Offset against the New Day's Kofi Kingston. The match starts off with Kofi tension in a waistlock and a hammerlock. Evans then gets a reversal, but Kofi reverses and slaps Evans in the back of the head. Evans then cinches in a wrist lock. Kofi then gets a reversal and transitions into a wrist lock. Evans then gets a reversal. Kofi lands a punch and has some words for Javon. Javon then hits a super kick for a near fall. Evans then clotheslines Kofi over the top rope into the floor. Grayson Waller, Xavier Woods then distract Javon to stop a dive by Javon. Javon then ends up going for a plancha, but Kofi gets out of the landing spot. Grayson then distracts Evans, but Kofi cannot take advantage. Evans then hits a flying knee for a near fall. Kofi then calls for a timeout, which there's no timeout in professional wrestling. Kofi then offers his hand, and Javon blocks a kick. Kofi then hits a thumb to the eyes when the referee is distracted by Grayson Waller. Evans is then sent to the floor, and Kofi gets a kick from the apron. Kofi then sends Evans' head into the announce desk. Kofi then bounces Evans' head off the announce desk. They then return to the ring. Kofi kicks Evans in the corner. Kofi then hits a thrust kick to Javon, and he kicks Evans in the back. Later on in the match, Evans then avoids the SOS. Kofi blocks a kick. Javon then hits a series of thrust kicks. Evans then hits a rebound, spinning heel kick. Evans then goes up top and goes for a moonsault, but Kofi moves and Evans lands awkwardly on his knee. I was like, oh, damn, another injury. Obviously, he wasn't hurt, thankfully. Kofi then hits the SOS for a near fall. He goes for a kick, but Javon gets a roll up. He almost gets the fall there. Evans then limps to the ropes and hits a plancha. Grayson Waller then punches Javon when Kofi distracts the referee. Kofi then hits a leg drop to the back of the head for a near fall. Kofi then argued with the referee about the count. So then Grayson Waller and Offset exchange words. Offset then sends Grayson Waller over the announce desk. And while after he does that, obviously we got the distraction. Offset throwing Grayson Waller over the announce desk, and Evan goes up top and hits the OG cutter for the 1-2-3. So don't mess with Offset. Grayson Waller, Javon Evans with a bouncy win. Winning the singles match, the young OG Javon Evans. We then take a look at AJ Styles with more comments from the wrestlers. We see Frankie Kazarian, like I said, old school, walking in the back. He sees the boiler room. He opens the door, and out comes Abyss. I haven't seen either one of them in a long while. We then see the first AJ Styles John Cena match. Then we get the entrance of the WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. He makes his way down to the ring. Finn Balor cuts a promo and says CM Punk isn't the only person with someone mad at him. Finn then said he needs to prove why he has to do it on his own. Finn then said he needs to prove to the doubters at the Judgment Day that he can be champion. Finn then said it's been 10 years. Finn then says when he lost to Punk in Belfast, he learned to stop asking himself what if and saying when. Finn then says when you beat CM Punk, you become world champion. When you main event WrestleMania, there will be no what ifs. Finn then says people will know who is the best in the world. Punk then grabs the mic, starts off by saying tonight is not about him. Punk then says he is here to celebrate the phenomenal AJ Styles. So he says the crowd needs to chant for AJ. Punk then says he wants to save time for AJ to speak to his people. Punk then says he has a big day in front of his people in Chicago coming up Saturday, Elimination Chamber. Punk then says he does need to address a few things. Punk then asks, what if this was the last time he got to say, if it is great to be alive and in Atlanta? Punk then says, what if Finn talked about what ifs? Punk then says, what if he didn't jump him in Toronto and ruin the last time he would share a ring with the phenomenal AJ Styles? Punk then says, you wouldn't be getting a title shot. Punk then says, it is risky being a fight champion. Punk then says he is doing the best he can. Punk then says he is giving you a fighting champion and following in the footsteps of the great. Punk then says people like Terry Funk, Harley Race, The Undertaker, Bret Hart, and several others. Punk then says he doesn't like to deal in what ifs. Punk then asks, what if Roman Reigns was here tonight? And then obviously the fans started erupting at that point. He's like, don't boo me, I'm here. Punk then says, this is why he doesn't like Dylan. Oh, sorry, got ahead. Punk then says, this is why he doesn't like Dylan and the what ifs, because it isn't rooted in reality. Punk then says he is in every town with boots on the ground. Punk then says, what if Finn Balor beats him and he loses? What's going on, Bentu? Shout out to Bentu. How you doing tonight? Punk then says, no risk, no reward. Punk then says, the reality is that Roman will be here next week live. So next week on Raw, we get the return of the OTC1 and the WrestleMania bill will begin. Roman Reigns returns to Raw next week. Punk then says, what if he doesn't wait until WrestleMania and he punches them in his stupid face next week? Punk then says he doesn't deal in what ifs, he deals in facts. Punk then says he will ask Finn, and Roman asks himself, what if? Punk then says he doesn't have to say what if he was champion because he is. Punk then says he doesn't have to ask what if he was the best in the world because he is the best in the world. Punk then says he doesn't have to ask what if he is in the main event of WrestleMania because he is the main event. I saw Raw and I cried happy tears. Yes, the ending was very emotional. And I'm super glad to see AJ's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I knew once the Undertaker come out, I was like, yep, Hall of Fame, 100%. Great career. Glad I was able to watch AJ perform over the years and his last match. And now I get to see him get inducted into the Hall of Fame in Vegas. It doesn't look like that's going to happen for John Cena this year, and it possibly could happen in Saudi Arabia. So, 43, which is going to be crazy. So, we didn't see Petey Williams, Jeremy Borash, and Amos in the back. So, it was great to see an Amos again. So, then we get our next match of the evening, and it's for the final participant in the Women's Elimination Chamber. Already qualified are Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Kiana James, and Alexa Bliss, who will join her. It's going to be the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez versus Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. So the match starts off with Sane hitting a forearm to Raquel, but she pushes her away. Raquel then hits a boot to Sane. Io then does some handspring and hits a leg sweep. Io goes for a sunset flip, but Raquel does not go down and she sends Io into the turnbuckles. Raquel then slams Kairi Sane and misses both women with a splash. Io and Kairi then chop Raquel. You've seen a lot of teamwork tonight together with Kairi and Io against Raquel. Io then hits her hip move, and Sane hits a hip into the corner. Kairi then gets a near fall, and she does her ears gimmick like Io on the cover on Io Sky, which is very reluctant cover if you're trying to qualify for the chamber. Io then hits a kick and a back body drop and applies a waistlock, and Kairi blocks it. Sane then kicks Raquel away, and Sane applies a waistlock. Raquel then picks up Kairi Sane and Io and hits a fallaway slam on both of them. Raquel then sends Kairi to the apron, and Raquel goes over the top rope, and Kairi pulls the rope down. Raquel then catches Sane on an elbow off the turnbuckles. Io then hits a moonsault, and she does her ears gimmick that she always does. So Kairi and Io then return to the ring, and Io goes up top. Io then kicks Raquel to the floor. Kairi then pulls Io off the turnbuckles, and Io hits the top turnbuckles before the mat. Sane then hits some more kicks to Io. Kairi then marches into a sliding knee, and she gets a near fall on Io. Super close. Kairi and Io then exchange forearms. Kairi hits a back elbow for a near fall. Raquel back in the action, sends Kairi face first into the mat to break up the hold. Raquel then sends Kairi Sane to the floor. Then she hits some elbow drops to Io. Raquel then hits a fallaway slam to Io Sky. Raquel then goes to the floor, and she picks up Io and sends her into the apron. Raquel then sends Io back into the ring, and Kairi back in the action, hits a forearm to the back. Kairi then goes for a fisherman suplex on the apron, but Raquel blocks it. Sane and Raquel are on the floor, and Sane returns to the ring. Io then dives to the ropes and hits a showtie to Sane, followed by a flapjack. Io then hits a drop kick to Raquel through the ring ropes. Io then goes to the apron, and she kicks Kairi Sane. Io then hits a springboard drop kick, and she does the ears gimmick again. Io then charges the Sane, but Raquel pounces on her. Raquel then hits a clothesline to Sane for a near fall. So Raquel sets up Kairi Sane for the Tahana Bomb, but Io blocks it, and Raquel is sent to the ring post. Io then hits a suicide dive on Raquel. Sane then goes up top, hits an elbow drop on Raquel. Io breaks it up, drop kicks Raquel over the ringside barrier. Kairi then hits a back fist, and she sends Io back into the ring. Sane goes up top for the finish, but she misses the elbow. But she gets a near fall with a backslide. Io then hits a butterfly backbreaker, and she goes up top for the famous moonsault and hits it. Or the referee counts to 3. Raquel pulls Kairi Sane's foot away to break up the cover. Raquel then hits a clothesline to Kairi Sane on the outside. She gets inside the ring. Io hits a thrust kick to Raquel on the apron and follows it up with a drop kick. Io then drops Raquel on the top rope. Io goes up top. Io then hits a missile drop kick. Io then hits a running double knee strike, and she goes up top for a moonsault. And Raquel stops her and tries to pour her to Hana Bomb, but Io fights her way out of it. She kicks Raquel away, and Io hits a tornado DDT. Io then goes up top again for the moonsault, and Kairi Sane pushes Io off the turnbuckles. Kairi then goes for the elbow drop, but Raquel gets her knees up, and then Raquel Rodriguez, and another shocker, hits the Tahana Bomb on Kairi Sane for the 1, 2, 3. Raquel has qualified for the Elimination Chamber, and she will join Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Kiana James in the Elimination Chamber Saturday. So a couple of people that you didn't expect to be in there, Raquel Rodriguez and Kiana James. I think Raquel is probably an odds-on favorite along with Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley. Those are my top 3. I just can't possibly. Well, Alexa, I mean, she could be a sleeper. I don't see Kiana James winning it. I don't see Asuka winning it. So Michael Cole is on commentary. He then says that Big Bronson Reed has suffered a distal bicep tear and will be out indefinitely, which is about a 3 to 6 month recovery for the distal bicep tear. So then commentary then runs through the card for Elimination Chamber this Saturday. Obviously, CM Punk defends the men's heavyweight championship against Ben Balor. Becky Lynch defends the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. The men's Elimination Chamber will feature Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and main event Jey Uso. And on the women's side, we'll see Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka, Kiana James, Alexa Bliss, and Raquel Rodriguez. It is announced that next week, Dominic Mysterio defends the Intercontinental title against Penta, and Dragon Lee will go one-on-one with the Ring General, the career killer Gunther, and Roman Reigns will appear next week on Raw. We then head to the back where Kathy Kelly is with Jade Cargill. Jade wants Kathy to repeat her name. Kathy then asks about Liv facing Stephanie. Jade says Liv made the smartest decision in her life by picking Stephanie. Kathy then asks Jade how does she feel going into Elimination Chamber. Jade then tells Kathy she doesn't care about any of these women, and we go back to the broadcast. We then get another video package of the phenomenal AJ Styles. So we get to the last part of Monday Night Raw tonight, which is the best part for me personally. We get the music of the phenomenal AJ Styles. The music hits and he makes his way down to the ring. AJ, when they put the camera up close to his face, you can see that he's already beginning to tear up. He's in Atlanta, so it makes sense. This is the end of his career. AJ starts off by saying he was going to wear a suit, but the last time he wore a suit, he beat the piss out of Cody Rhodes, so he decided not to wear a suit. AJ then says he thought it would be easy, but if he gets choked up, it isn't because he is sad. AJ then says he is so grateful to be in Atlanta. AJ then says he grew up 45 miles down the road in Gainesville, Georgia. AJ then says people don't get to have a celebration like this when they retire, and he is thankful for this night. AJ then says thank you. AJ then says in his core, he is still that kid from Gainesville, Georgia, who fell in love with professional wrestling. AJ then says he wrestled in Gainesville, the Asylum, the Tokyo Dome, and at WrestleMania. He's truly done it all. AJ then said he wrestled some OGs. AJ then says Daniels, Joe, and Frankie Kazarian made their marks on wrestling. AJ then said he went to Japan. AJ then says he met some good brothers over there. AJ then says Gallows and Anderson showed him what it was like to have fun. AJ then says if you're having fun, he is having fun. AJ then says he has done almost everything. Almost. AJ then says the one thing he hasn't done is be a full-time father, and his wife and his kids were out at ringside. That was definitely got me tearing up there. AJ then says, you have heard this before. He said he'd missed birthdays, anniversaries, he'd missed games. He has missed them all. AJ then says his flex should be all the titles he won all over the world. AJ then says, you never showed him down and told him to stop. AJ then says, you pushed him forward and held the family together. AJ then says, you are the one. AJ then tells his lovely wife that he loves her. And AJ thanks his family for being there. He said now it is time for him to step up and be a father, full-time father. AJ then says things might not have gone the way you wanted to against Gunther at the Royal Rumble. AJ then says it wasn't the way he wanted to go out, but he also says it's poetic at the same time. AJ says not many people get to go out where they started. AJ then mentioned he made his debut at the Royal Rumble in 2016, and then he says the last match was at the 2026 Royal Rumble, 10 years later. AJ then says he didn't leave the gloves in the ring, but he is a man of his word. AJ then takes off his vest and puts it on the mat. AJ then says he didn't take off his gloves at the Royal Rumble because he wanted to take them with him to the house and come to Atlanta and be in this ring and leave his gloves at home. AJ then takes off his gloves and puts them on top of the vest. AJ then says he would be nothing without you, and he thanks everyone for the love. He says he loves all of you. AJ then gets on the turnbuckles and gets a standing ovation. Obviously, you get all the wrestlers coming out, Triple H, SmackDown superstars, you see Cody, crap ton of people out there. But he did put his jacket and his gloves in the middle of the ring. Everyone comes out onto the stage to give AJ one more ovation. The gong then sounds and the lights go out. And there's none other than WWE Hall of Famer Phenom, The Undertaker, on his motorcycle, coming out to American Badass. Undertaker then rides to the ring on his motorcycle. He gets into the ring, and Undertaker asks him if he is just going to leave his stuff there. He then tells AJ they have some unfinished business. He then asks AJ, if you heard the saying, if you see me coming, you are already gone. Undertaker then says that he changed it. He then says, if you see me coming, that means you are going. Undertaker then says it is his esteemed honor to tell him he is going into the 2026 Hall of Fame this year. AJ then hugs Undertaker, and we see his family coming to the ring. Family's reaction before they join him in the ring, and the show comes to a close. So congratulations to the newest inductee and joining Stephanie McMahon in the 2026 Hall of Fame. Congratulations, AJ Styles, on a illustrious career being in the 2026 Hall of Fame. So for me, guys, Raw just wasn't, besides the AJ Styles stuff, I mean, we did finally get Liv Morgan's answer, but I don't know what they're doing with Brock. I don't, unless he shows up at the chamber. He shows up at the chamber and ends up screwing LA Knight, then obviously we'll know from there. But if not, like, I'm still hoping that we're building towards Brock and Obi at WrestleMania. There was just a lot. The Maxine Natty stuff was just god awful. It's unfortunate again about Bronson Reed tearing his bicep. He's going to be out 3 to 6 months. Seth is on his way back. Braun Breaker is going to be on his way back soon, but now Bronson Reed is going to be out. The division just can't catch a break when it comes to injuries. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That was the Go Home Raw. Our Elimination Chamber is fully complete. Once again, the 4 matches of the Elimination Chamber will see CM Punk defending his Raw title against Finn Balor, Becky Lynch defending the Intercontinental Championship against AJ Lee. In the Men's Elimination Chamber, we'll see Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and main event Jey Uso. And in the Women's Elimination Chamber, we'll see Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, and Big Mommy Cool Raquel Rodriguez. So that's it for me, guys, tonight for the Raw recap. Hopefully we get a better show Friday, as we'll see Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defend their tag titles against the Irresistible One. Is it Irresistible Forces or Irresistible One? I think it's Irresistible Forces. Nia Jax and Lash Legend. It will be the last show before we get to Elimination Chamber Saturday on ESPN. I guess some people watch it on Netflix as well. But before we go tonight, I will tell you guys again, make sure you guys get in this raffle for this classic WWF Intercontinental Championship belt. I'm going to take my banner off. All you have to do is scan this QR code right here. It's After the Slam Podcast. It's PayPal. You scan that QR code. It's a $15 raffle to win a WWF Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. How to enter. The only catches, you have to subscribe to After the Slam Podcast, Talk It Up Wrestling Podcast, and the EVP shows, all 3 of our YouTube pages. You get that, you scan that QR code, send $15 via PayPal for 1 raffle entry. Each $15 equals 1 entry. The more entries, the better chance you have to win. The winner will be announced live on March 1st on After the Slam Podcast, the show on March the 1st. I believe it's at 4 p.m. Eastern. This raffle will end on February 28th, the day of the Elimination Chamber. So make sure you guys get in this raffle before it's too late. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and play my outro, and then I will play that video from After the Slam Podcast on how to get into this raffle. You guys don't go anywhere.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, Show Recap Prediction Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, here's the video from After the Slam Podcast on how to enter that raffle that I just explained earlier.
Hey guys, it's me, Bodacious Albert from the After the Slam Podcast, and today we are announcing big news. For the first time in After the Slam history, we are going to do our first raffle giveaway. After the Slam Podcast and the DWE, we're giving away our first championship belt. It's easy to enter. All you gotta do is scan that QR code and pay $15 to enter the raffle. And guess what? It's simple. If every $15 you put in, it's an extra raffle and a better spot for you to win. And what am I talking about? We are giving away the classic Intercontinental Championship. This title is going to be given away to a lucky winner. All you got to do is scan that QR code and pay that $15. Imagine winning a championship belt for only $15. But there's also a catch. You need to subscribe to all of the DWE members' YouTube channels. After the Slam, Talk It Up, and the EVP Show. So get going. Get a chance to win an IC championship belt shipped straight to your door. Only $15. It's all in your hands. The funds of this contest will go on to buying a new championship belt every single month, so we can do a giveaway. So don't miss it. Become the Intercontinental Champion of the IWC. For more info, look at the description below and you can see all the details there. Become the Intercontinental Champion.
Alright guys, like I said, this is going to end on February 28th. Make sure you scan that barcode, send that $15. This ends on the day of the Elimination Chamber, which is Saturday. Once you scan that barcode, send that $15. Hit that subscribe button to After the Slam Podcast on YouTube, Talking About Wrestling Podcast, the EVP Show, and you are entering this raffle. The old school WWF Intercontinental Championship belt, and the winner will be drawn live on After the Slam Podcast, the show March the 1st, I believe 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So you guys make sure you still got a few days to get in this raffle, so make sure that you get in this raffle. I want to thank you guys. A pretty small crowd tonight for a Raw recap. I'm not sure exactly what's going on if there's another show, what's going on. But shout out to Raymond coming in, and also Bintu. Didn't even get to 100 mark, which that's very rare for Raw, especially right before PLE. But it is what it is. It's late. So yeah. So as far as where you can find me at on my socials, you can see it going across the bottom of the screen. The link is also in my bio. Please follow me on X at EVPCJP, Instagram as well at EVPCJP in lowercase. You can see me on TikTok. I was actually did a live today for almost an hour on there. Hope to be streaming on there soon. Having all my streams on there as well. You can follow me on TikTok at Brady the Goat 21. It's at Brady BRADYDA Goat 21. Last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe to the EVP Show. If you're not already subscribed, go to the search bar and type in at the EVP Show, and you can find my YouTube link. If you guys are able to go back and watch this stream later on, whether it's later on tonight or tomorrow, please make sure to like the stream and leave me some comments from YouTube. That helps with my stream and my page and the algorithm. I do appreciate you guys for coming out tonight. I know it's late. It's already Tuesday. It's almost 1 a.m. on the East Coast. I still have to do shorts, and it's a 7-day or more than a 7-day week. It depends on what I'm going to do next week. Like I said, I'm unsure if I'm going to do the NXT PLE predictions. I'll probably put a post out tomorrow, or I might put it out Wednesday. We'll see, and see if I gauge any interest on the NXT PLE next week. Because there's going to be an NXT PLE next week. But as far as what I have coming up the rest of this week, it's already Tuesday on the East Coast. But later on tonight, Tuesday night, there's 4 title matches on NXT tonight. You can catch me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT recap. Wednesday, make sure you hit that notification bell. Don't miss out. I have an 8-person panel coming on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be doing the Elimination Chamber Prediction Show. You guys definitely do not want to miss that. I will be having quite a variety, a bunch of new people that's never been on the EVP show, and obviously, I believe one person that's on the panel has been on the EVP show a couple of times already. So that's going to be a surprise. You guys just going to have to be wait for the post on X on who all is going to be on the show. But that's what I'm going to be trying to do going forward. Obviously, WrestleMania is coming up, so gonna have openings up for that, and then this NXT PLE, If anybody's interested in doing the prediction show, I'll make a post. Let me know. A couple of you are interested, then I will talk to Miami about getting a thumb and stuff for it, and we will definitely do an NXT pay-per-view prediction show next week. But tune in Wednesday for the 8-person panel at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Elimination Chamber prediction show. Don't miss out on that. And Thursday night, come back and join me on the EVP show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, as I will be covering it'll be the second episode of the TNA Recap Show. And then I'm back Friday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern for the Go Home the day right before the Elimination Chamber for the SmackDown Recap at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern is Elimination Chamber. So as soon as the pre-show, the post-show goes off, I will be live on the EVP show somewhere between 11:30 p.m. Eastern to cover all the action from the Elimination Chamber. So make sure you guys don't miss that Saturday at between 11 and 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live to cover the recap from the Elimination Chamber. And then Sunday, we're back. Elimination Chamber will be in the books for episode 9 of Sunday Scoops. We had a great turnout yesterday, almost 100 comments. Phenomenal. Make sure you tune in Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for episode 9 of Sunday Scoops. With that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you guys later tonight. I'm on the East Coast, Tuesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, for your NXT recap. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. Remember that, Cody? And DWE is the place to be. Good night, everyone, and I will see you guys later tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the NXT recap. Good night, everyone.